Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin and it's Saturday, so it is time for my weekly roundup. Yeah! So what's my weekly roundup? We go through my week in crafting and we've been talking about the books I'm reading because I like to read and I want to make it a priority, and you guys help keep me accountable for that. So thank you. We are also, because it is the holiday time and Advent season is upon us, opening two, I'm going to call this an Advent. I don't know if you really call it an Advent, but I have Ellie Leva's stitch marker set. These are from Ellie Leva's Crafts and More. She makes wonderful sets of stitch markers, and for the holidays she had two options. You could get the usual 15, I'm crinkling so I didn't want to talk through it, or you could get a 25. I went for the 25, and let's see. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, this is totally Elsa, and Bingo is going to try her darndest to take this from my possession. So, send help. Look at how pretty that is. It is so sparkly. It is so Elsa. Send help, please. I'm pretty sure she's heard it. They're down in the basement. We have not yet put up our Christmas tree, so the kids have been told they have to clean up their toys in the basement so we can put up the tree so Santa can come. I am not above bribery. And here is day 8. Look at, give me a holograph sparkle. I'm all for it. Oh, it's got the red on the inside. I love the red. I don't know why. Let's see what this one is. Oh, that is adorable. So this is a snowman with blue earmuffs and a lovely blue scarf. Again, this one might be claimed as being Elsa-esque, but I have a better chance at maintaining custody and control of this one. So, we also have day 16 of our Ginger Snap Yarn Advent Calendar. Okay, so yesterday we had green moving towards blue. So I think we're going to be moving more into the blues today. Let's see. Let's see. She wraps these so nicely. And let's see. Oh, I ripped it in the middle. Who said yellow? Someone said yellow. We got blues, we have greens, and there is highlighter yellow in there. We might be taking our journey, oops, no, not my face, the yarn, into yellow. What? Oh, this is exciting. This is exciting. You nailed it. You nailed it. We had a little foray with the blue. I mean, we could go more blue. The yellow could be a red herring. But, oh, let's see. Got the whole shebang here. Boom! That's day 1. We're moving through, moving through, moving through. The highlighter green really wants to be front and center. Uh-oh. Chomps is doing something. There we go. That is our yarn advent thus far. And yes, yesterday I had mentioned I'm having, you know, the little flutters of do I actually have enough yardage for a sweater for myself. And the idea of getting a neutral to kind of blend in a bit is fabulous. And I might just go ahead and do that. Even if it's just like, oh, but I don't know if I want to break it. I will plan. I will think about it. But yeah, getting a neutral to kind of fade in, I think, is a brilliant idea. And thank you. I mean, it could even just be white, so it doesn't like contrast too much, you know. But I don't think I'd want a pure white. I don't know. We'll see how the whole set develops, and then we'll talk. But yeah, so those are my openings. we will talk finished objects first. I have 3 finished objects. I'm counting one object as finished, but I know I'm going to rip it out and try to reuse the yarn. We will talk about that. Where's my phone? It's in my pocket. Good. I want to show you a reference picture. So let's talk about what I did finish first. So my first finished object is thanks to Laura at Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. She does the Bodhatapalooza, and I watch her videos every week, and I think I should make that. And then I, you know, get consumed by everything else in life and what I've already got going, and I don't make it. I made it! So, I did it! I had a single skein of Scarfie that Brian got me for a Poor Decisions video a while ago. And it's just been sitting there, and I was kind of like, I should use that at some point. The Bodhatapalooza! So this is Oxford and Claret Scarfie, and I followed the bod hat pattern to a T. No changes, no alterations. I'm going to say this is my least favorite way of making a hat, and that's not to dig on Crystal. There are so many different ways to make a hat, and you don't have to like them all. But the cinching of the top and kind of sewing that hole together, I prefer to do the decrease. And I should have watched the whole tutorial before I started. I probably would have altered it and done instead of the cinching, done the decreases to close the crown. But I think the hat is lovely. I like it. I actually did bobbles. What? There you go. So, did this. This used a little over half the ball of Scarfie. Then I was left with half a ball of Scarfie. Oh! Naming the head. You guys gave me so many wonderful suggestions. The one that made me giggle the most and was actually submitted by a couple of people was Hattie. So this is going to be Hattie. It's Hattie the head. Showing off my hats. I think it's a female's face. So I wanted to do something that was kind of a feminine name. But see, it's a little slouchy on her head. There you go. This hat's bottom up with the scrunchy things. With crochet hats, I really prefer top down. With knit hats, I go bottom up, and that's my preferred. I don't know why. I think it's because with the crochet, the starting with the circle and the increasing is so much easier than it is with knits. I mean, you can do it, but then you've got to start with like 2 needle, like the double points, and you're like stabbing yourself. And I would rather struggle with the double pointed needles at the end of the project than at the beginning. Personal preference. But there you go. We got that. And so what did I do with the other half? I wanted to try to make a matching cowl. And I did. So what did I do here? I did the stitch pattern of the hat. And then I added like a little kerchief, kind of to make like a faux dicky type situation. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Brian thinks it's crazy. I think it's brilliant. So here you go. See? You've got that, so you can stick that in your jacket and it folds, and then you've got the cowl here. What I think I did is, so her the stitches, you just need an even number of stitches. And I think I added too many. I think I did 10 stitches too many. And so I think it could have been a little better. But I think this will work perfectly. So basically I did the posts, the singles, the bobbles. Then I did the singles and then another round of posts. And then I stopped and just on half of it. So literally I just did half. I did, what did I go through? I did the singles and at each end, so I did 1 row singles just halfway around. On the next row, I decreased on each end. And I just continued decreasing on each end And then so I did the 2 rows of singles, and then I did the post stitches, 2 rows of singles, post stitches, 2 rows of singles, post stitches. And then I ran out of yarn. It was literally, excuse me, the last stitch. I won at Yarn Chicken at the smallest possible amount you possibly could. I had to like use my fingers to pull the yarn through, and then it's knotted in here because I was like using a yarn needle to get it through to make the knot, but I did it. We used every last bit of that scarfy yarn. But here we go. I like it. I think it's cute. I'm pretty proud to have made a set. I know people might be asking for a tutorial on this. I am going to say I am not comfortable doing this exact tutorial since this is Crystal's stitch pattern repeat. What I can do, I'm happy to try to do a tutorial on this style, but let me work out my own stitches and I'll figure something out to do a tutorial on how I did it. But there you go. Those are my 2 actually finished objects. This is my 3rd object. I'm going to pull out the camera to get, not the camera, my photos. I saved a screenshot of what I was trying to do. Okay. So, I got that Hirschner's yarn grab bag, the holiday yarn grab bag. It had those 2 hanks of Wool and the Gang super chunky yarn. And talking about what to do. And Sarah Nickel commented a hooded cowl. And that immediately in my head sent me to a cowl I've been seeing all over Instagram. I don't have TikTok, but apparently it's very popular on TikTok as well. And so I was wanted to try to make that cowl. It's a hooded cowl. It's called the Matrix cowl. And I couldn't figure out who the actual original pattern designer was. And I went to Etsy and there was multiple people with very similar patterns. So I ended up not buying the pattern because I didn't want to buy it from the not original person. You know, I just couldn't figure it out and I was just like, whatever. But then that made me think of a cowl I've really been wanting to make. I love Outlander. I love the television show Outlander. I love the books Outlander. I read the books before the television show and all that kind of stuff. I have not yet read the final, it's not the last book, the most recent book, Go Tell the Bees That I've Gone or whatever. I haven't read Bees. It's on my shelf. Brian bought it for me as soon as it came out. It's been on my shelf ever since then. You know, part of me is a little sad. This is going to be a little tangent. Part of me is a little sad that I know the series is coming to an end. We've got, is it 1 book or 2 books left? I think it might just be 1 book left. But I do know she's got plans for other books. She wants to do more Lord John. She's got plans for a, I can't remember his name. What? I'm totally blanking. Oh my god. The French apothecary dude. Hopefully it'll come to me, but she wants to do a book on him. And, yeah, like, because he's got such, he knows things. And then there's a What Frank Knew book that she wants to do, or she's talked about doing. We gotta know what Frank knew. Frank in the show, I am much more sympathetic towards. Like, I don't know, I think it's because Tobias Menzies is such a fabulous actor. And, I mean, they tweaked the story. Frank in the books, I cannot talk about book Frank. But Frank in the show, I have much more sympathetic feelings to. And I do totally attribute that to Tobias Menzies and the tweaks in the story. There are some tweaks. But anyway, so I got Thick Giant Yarn. I love Outlander. Claire has this wonderful chunky knit cowl. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I went looking. A lot of people have patterns that are mock that cowl. The biggest knitting needles I have is this set of needles. And it is the US 17 12.75 millimeter. I tried them. I didn't like how dense the fabric was. If I wanted to knit it, I would have had to get more knitting needles. I don't use this type of yarn frequently enough for me to justify buying new implements for this project. So I went to crochet because I did get a gigantic, properly sized 15 millimeter crochet hook. Furls, thank you. So I had gotten this Q 15 millimeter crochet hook from Furls during a sale. I forget which, it was the founder's birthday sale. I'm pretty sure I got 30% off on it. But I didn't have a hook that big. It's the biggest implement I own. So I thought I would do it. Okay. Claire is gorgeous. Claire is beautiful. Katrina Belf is, not Christina, Katrina. Katrina Belf is one of the most beautiful women to walk the planet Earth. I am not Katrina Belf. I made the cowl. So I striped it up. Here's what I came up with. Here's what it is. I do have some yarn left over, but it was not enough to complete more stripes. So I had to cut it off. So it's all, I used half double crochets and then I seamed it together with just a slip stitch on the inside. So I made it. I think it looks similar. I think I achieved the look of the reference picture. I hate it. I think it looks awful on me. And so Bingo gave me 2 thumbs up. She loves it. I don't think I could ever wear it. And so I'm not being mean to myself. Okay? So please don't. This, I think you can have good self-esteem, but you can also be honest about your body. I think the double chin, the double chin here, I don't think it looks good with the big, with the cowl. So, here's my new plan. Plan is to try to rip it out and make a hooded cowl. Obviously, I've seen the pictures of the that matrix cowl. It's kind of be inspired by that, but it's not going to be that because I don't know. What's cool about that is it's got like this chest thing that you can then buckle, and it makes it more of like a hooded cowl meets a dickie, which I think is a fabulous idea. But I've seen a lot of tutorials on YouTube and just around for kind of a generic where you put like a turtleneck type situation here and then you sew on a hood. That's what I'm thinking. And then maybe I'll see about adding like a bandana type situation based on yarn usage I have left. But that's the new plan. But this is gonna just sit for a while as is because I've got it out of my system. I have made an item with it. I believe I achieved, oh, there's a cat hair on it. People who suggested cat beds with this yarn, you are spot on. The cats were all over it when I was working on it. So yeah, it's kind of out of my system that I've tried it. I've done something with it. But it'll wait until I, finish it off. I am going to go and put these wrappers in my yarn label box because that is a completed project. I did it, even if I'm not in love with it, and I think it's going to end up being deconstructed. I think it counts as a finished item and I can claim those labels. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Oh my gosh, I'm so far in and I've been blubber blabbering. So let's talk about my whips, my works in progress. I don't have many because, as I said, I've kind of scaled down. The big news is on the socks. I have finished the toe and started the afterthought heel. So here's my toe. So you can see the color work toe has been put on. And here's my afterthought heel. I am starting to panic that this sock is way too long for my foot. We're going to have to see. This is the normal number of stitches I've been doing on my vanilla sock. But, and what's weird is these are US 1s. For my vanilla socks, I've normally been using US 2s, and the first one I used the US 3. So these should be smaller needles. So the same number of stitches, the same number of rows, should be smaller. So, unless I miscalculated with how the afterthought heel works with the construction of the sock, but I assumed the instep would kind of work the same and pull the stitches the same. I don't know. If anyone more well-versed in an afterthought heel can chime in there, I'd love it. But here we go. We've got the afterthought heel starting. And we're going forward with it. So I am very close to finishing this sock. This sock is housed in a ginger snap bag. She makes the bags too. She is so talented. Here we go. If you're looking, this was during the summer. She had a special limited release of these bags with this yarn set. It's the S'more Summer Fun in her dust fingering weight. So this is the main color. It's this beautiful toasted marshmallow. And then I'm started to use the contrast, which is this bright orange. That's, I believe, supposed to represent the fire and the roasting of the marshmallows. So there we go. I am using this knitting pattern. Where's the front page? This is from Hypnotic Yarns. This was a free pattern. It's called the Espresso Shot Shorty Socks by Cheryl Ham. And she's apparently the dyer behind Hypnotic Yarns. So there we go. We're working through it. The circular needles I used were my Hiya US 1s. And I'm using my ChowGoo US 1 steel DPNs, double pointed needles now for the heel. Other work in progress. I'm still working on the bod shawl. So this is, again, I don't recall the name. It was, she calls it a cowl because she made it smaller. I'm going to do it to the end. Oh, I didn't grab. Okay, we're just going to hold it up. I didn't get super far. Didn't get that much further. But we are into the color change where the tan is coming in. And there we go. I have used roughly half the cake. So, whoops. Oh, that was my crochet hook was stuck in the shawl. On this one, I'm using my Dots 4.5mm hook. And here we go. It's beautiful. It's a great 5-row repeat using chain. It's mostly single crochets, chain 3s, and double crochets. There's a chain 1 at the end of the rows. So it's a very easy repeat to just kind of go on autopilot. And I think it's going to turn out lovely. Like, look at that color fade. Oh, it's beautiful. So this is going to be a prize for the Krafting Kitty Creator Spotlight this month. One person will win this. And yeah, definitely be sure to send me your pictures. Keep those projects coming in. Laura asked about the hats. Absolutely, absolutely. If you're doing the Bodhatapalooza, double, triple dip. Do it. I am all about it. The stitch marker progress keeper I'm using here is one of Ellie Leva's sugar skulls. And I'm using my hobby Halloween bag because it's adorable and it's got a kitty cat. Books that I'm reading. I am continuing to read The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I actually remembered to grab the book this time. I have not read much in here. I'm only a couple more chapters in. I'm at page 875. The problem is the typeface in this book is so small. And normally that's not a problem. Like, I have bad eyesight, but with my glasses, it's fine. I can read, not a problem. With the wisdom teeth and the pressure in my head and, like, everything that was going on, I was having trouble concentrating on the patterns. That's why I've had to stop the dino stomp blanket. And, which, there is one more day. December 17th is the final day to get your entries in for the dino stomp blanket. We're going to draw for that soon. That's the event that Ray and I are doing with the dino projects. I know I've got a couple of entries that recently came into my email. I will respond to those and get you on the list, no problem. But yeah, so I'm just a couple more chapters in. I'll keep going. I'll finish it. I was finally able to start reading it the other day. Like I was saying, it was like the pressure, and my eyes didn't want to focus on the small type. So instead of reading this, I had reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. And because I've been reading so many fun, like, fan theories, I wanted to see, I had some theories in my own head, like, swirling around. I wanted to reread it, see if I could catch up on some other clues, and figure out what I thought might be going on. And I've got a couple theories. I've got some theories. But yeah, I like the books. I don't know why they've got my imagination. Like I said earlier when I opened the Dragon Horde yarn, I don't know why they have so grasped my imagination, but I love them. I like the first book better than the second book, but that's very common. I think I like the world. I like the magic system that's created. The dragons are so sassy and sarcastic. I love it. And yeah, I mean, like, give me a good mystical war between good and evil, dragons and magic, and I'm there. You know? I'm there for it. Yeah. I'd love to have a dragon. Give me Taryn. I would love to. I like Scale too. Scale. I don't know how to say her name. But yeah, they're fun. Yeah, that's what I got for you today. I will stop blabbing. I will go edit and get this uploaded. I gotta put this hook away before I lose it. There we go. We'll do it right now while I'm thinking of it. And I'll talk to you later. You're going to see me wearing this exact same outfit because, as I said, I got the new hobby yarn and I really want to rip into that. So I'm going to shut this off and then rip into that. And I'll see you tomorrow.